Today I'm just going to be going through the work program conclusion. I'm just going to give a sort of a general overview of it. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. Can everyone see the screen? Can everyone just raise their hands if they can see the screen? Okay, fantastic. All right, so I've put it on, I have already set up my file. It's on audit and on the large templates, although that doesn't make too much of a difference on the work programs. I also, for those of you who don't have premium, you'll also be able to see today some of the additional content that we get when we purchase premium. So I'm just going to get right into it. You'll see if you don't have premium, you have on your conclusion tab on the work programs, you only have 3 questions. You have question 9, 10 and 11 about subsequent events, going concern and a need to revise our audit plan. If you do have premium, you have a lot of additional questions. So a lot of people say, oh, but that's more work, but I promise you it's so much better. There's a lot of additional content and a lot more guidance in the premium. Right, so if you're on the conclusion tab, how it works is exactly the same as signing off an audit program. So it'll have different questions. So for example, it says matters to be communicated with those charged with governance, including deficiencies in internal control. If you say no, it automatically signs off for you and that step is complete. If you say yes, there were matters to be communicated with those charged with governance, it pops up with a little warning which says record issues by clicking on the record a risk button. If you then say OK, you can then click on the record a risk button. It will automatically take you through to the report to management. I'm just waiting for the screen to change. It takes you through to the report to management and you are able to click on the tabs and record different management report items. And you would then just close it and save, and that item will be showing or reflecting on your report to management at the end of your audit. So you don't need to now remember at the end of the audit all these things that had to be recorded. Right, and then it's also got additional steps to do, determine whether deficiency individually or in combination constitutes significant deficiencies, and if they are significant, communicate them to the directors. It also has a little comment box for you to put in what the deficiency was or any comments, just sort of explain the circumstances. A lot of people will ask, well, why do we need to explain it here if we've put it on the report to management? My view is it's a lot easier for whoever's reviewing to see exactly what the problem was. So instead of having to go now, pick up the management report and find that exact item that you've raised, they can just simply refer here. Right. The other questions work exactly the same. So question 2, if you say, yes, there were fraud or fraud risk factors, it then pulls up a whole lot of items which you need to consider and you need to do something about. For example, it'll say, if we believe management may be involved, explain how the risk of material misstatement due to fraud was re-evaluated. You then just need to right-click and say insert comment if you want to explain here, or you can reference it to your working papers. So just do the exact steps that are here. Right, the other questions work exactly the same. Some of them will have additional steps popping up, most of them that are on the premium content. And the ones that we all know about are these ones here at the bottom, the last 3 items. Just to refer to question 8 refers to misstatements other than those that are clearly trivial. Did we find any of those? It includes those ones which you have made adjustments for or done something about. If you found any of them, you say yes, and it will then give you certain steps and certain things you would need to consider, and please do follow those steps. Right. Subsequent events we all know about. Everyone's got this question, not just premium users. So if you said, yes, there was a subsequent event which you identified while performing your procedures during the audit, it pops up with a little warning sign if you said yes. It says record events by clicking on the record a risk button. If you then say OK, it then you click on the Record a Risk button, it pulls you through to the subsequent events work program. You can then go and record your subsequent event, and when you say submit, it takes you back to the the work program. Right. It also pops up when you say yes, there is a subsequent event. It pops up with a comment box underneath the question. It's not just for show. It's for you to then explain what was the subsequent event. Once again, yes, you have recorded it somewhere else, but it's much easier to explain things in your work program also for whoever is reviewing. Right. You'll also notice if you do say yes, there is a subsequent event, or for any of the questions above, if you say yes, it doesn't automatically sign off that step in the work program. You then do whatever needs to be done, and when you are done doing your required steps, recording your subsequent event and explaining it, you sign off your step by ticking in the little tick box. Right. Going concern works exactly the same way as the subsequent events. So if you say, yes, there was a going concern, it again pops up with a little warning. It will ask you to record an event or condition, and it works exactly the same way. When you click on the Record a Risk button, it then goes through to the going concern conclusion working paper, and you can record your going concern event. Right. When you say submit, it again takes you back to your work program.